Hari ini, gua kedatangan seorang aktris terkenal. Ini dia Peggy Melati Sukma. Di sini, Teteh Hadijah Peggy bercerita bagaimana proses perjalanan hidupnya ketika ia mendapatkan ketenaran, kekayaan, dan semua yang dia mau, tetapi tetap merasa kosong dalam hidupnya. Gua dan Viola juga akan bertanya tentang pengalaman dia bercadar secara full sampai bertemu dengan sang suami. Gue dan Viola di sini belajar banyak sekali tentang damai dan cinta Tuhan dari perspektif seseorang yang sangat berbeda dengan kami berdua. And kita berdua jadi semakin amazed dengan cinta Tuhan. So, inilah dia kisah tetangga kita. Hai, ini gue Daniel, tetangga kamu. Yuk kita mulai. Hai semua tetangga-tetangga yang gue sayangin dan gue cintain. Well, kembali lagi di Daniel, tetangga kamu. Dan seperti biasa, kalau misalnya kalian pengen nge-support kita, nge-support konten kita, nge-support channel kita, Daniel Mananta Network, kalian bisa klik tombol subscribe atau bisa juga dengan memberikan kita super thanks atau membeli official merchandise kita. Langsung aja, ini ada QR code-nya di sini dan just follow. Nah, baiklah kalau begitu sekarang ini gue lagi ditemenin sama Viola Mananta juga.
Hello.
Yes,
Long
udah
time
lama.
no see, right?
Long time no
Yeah.
see. Udah lama banget Viola gak ikutan. Dan kali ini kita seneng banget, sebuah kehormatan kita bisa bersama. Ini jauh-jauh dari New Zealand by the way. Yeah. Sini ada Sheikh Reza Abdul Jabbar dan juga ada Hadijah Peggy Melati. How are you guys?
Very well, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, we're
Very
good.
well.
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you banget karena mereka 2 hari lagi itu udah balik ke New
Ya,
Zealand
insya
gitu.
Allah.
Yeah, inshallah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or, God willing,
Yeah.
2 more days, yeah.
Ya, dan mereka masih menyempatkan untuk mampir ke rumah tetangga dulu. Cie,
Siap.
mampir sama
Ya.
gua sama Viola.
Kami juga
Such
justru
an honor for
mengucapkan terima kasih sama Daniel diundang tetanggaan ke sini.
Kita beneran tetanggaan, rumah gak
Iya.
terlalu jauh. Ya kan?
Tetanggaan beneran.
Yo, tapi kalau misalnya ke New Zealandnya sih jauh sih. Iya sih.
Nggak ada yang jauh.
Eh,
Ketika tetangga saling kunjung,
ya,
gak ada yang jauh, bener gak?
ya, bisa sih.
Mesti disampaikan.
Iya.
Yeah.
Biarpun ini kalau misalnya di New Zealand ya guys, itu kalau misalnya kalian lihat tuh di peta gitu ya, lu lihat di ini pulau New Zealand, abis itu di ujungnya, di paling bawahnya, dan abis itu udah nggak ada apa-apa lagi tuh, belum.
Yeah.
Abis itu udah South Pole, itu Sinterklas tinggal di situ.
Really, really far. How many flights do you have to take from Jakarta to
It's
get
actually not
there?
too bad. You fly from Jakarta to Sydney,
Mhm.
Sydney to Queenstown, and that's, we drive another 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Not too bad.
But there are also flights through Bali. So from New Zealand through Australia to Indonesia via Bali, and then Bali Jakarta. There are also flights like that.
Or via Singapore, or via Malaysia. Or,
Tapi kalau Malaysia sama Singapura kan
lebih jauh
Iya,
lagi dong.
Jauh lagi
Iya,
harus
iya.
ke situ.
Betul.
Oke, jadi Teh Peggy, atau panggilnya Teh Peggy apa? Hadijah Peggy?
Yeah, both are okay. Teh Hadijah is okay.
Teh Hadijah, yes.
Deh,
Wow.
Khadijah.
Mungkin sebelum nanti kita ngobrol sama Sheikh Reza juga gitu ya. Kayak how did you end up in New Zealand? Dan mungkin yang pertama-tama nih sebelumnya kayak dari yang kita taunya Teh Hadijah sendiri
entertainment.
sebagai di entertainment, sebagai apa di gerhana gitu kan. Pusing.
I still remember.
Dan sekarang tiba-tiba jadi istri petani gitu kan di New Zealand gitu. So tell me a little bit about yourself sampai hari ini.
Ya, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah wa syukurillah. Segala puji bagi Allah. I have a very long journey to be me today. Ya, pasti sebagaimana Daniel dan teman-teman di Indonesia tahu, my career is a very long career. It's not just like 1-2 years or 5-10 years, but totally it's like 22
Dari
years.
umur 15 ya?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It was like 22 years. Jadi melewati berbagai macam stages ya, until big boom ya, with this and that production.
Yeah.
And ya pendeknya bahwa di dalam karir yang pernah dijalani, I felt that time I have reached everything. I mean, in the term of category in the entertainment industry, like in front of the screen, in the back of the screen, like in front of the screen udah kayak main sinetron, main film, pernah punya album nyanyi, jadi host, having so many nomination, awards, things like that. Di belakang layar, I have like a company, production house, even organizer, strategic communication consultant, and so on and so on. So, tapi ada satu, Daniel, I don't know, yang semua yang dicapai pada saat itu, pada akhirnya brought me a question. Pertanyaannya tuh sebetulnya cuma satu. Kenapa semua kesuksesan yang pernah diraih itu nggak membuat I don't feel like I reach ketenangan hati, nggak mendapatkan maybe I got joyful life, hidup yang senang gitu ya. Tapi it's different with peaceful life.
So good.
Yeah, I got it. Maybe you feel it like our work is brought us like enjoyment.
Yeah.
Very busy, you know, surrounding by so many people around us.
Betul.
But I that time I was questioning myself. Kenapa ya? Kok I didn't feel that peaceful in me. And then I start to question myself, what was missing from my life? And then I start to do what we call in Islam, we call it muhasabah. But regularly we
Apa
call it
artinya?
Introspection.
Muhasabah itu artinya
looking deep into yourself gitu. Melihat ke dalam untuk kemudian berpikir dan merenung gitu loh. Kira-kira nih gimana kehidupan gue gitu ya.
Karena
apa yang udah kita
we live in a very busy life, as you know. Entertainment is make us really really busy.
Sampai kita nggak pernah lagi mempunyai conversation
dengan
di dalam diri kita
sendiri.
sendiri gitu, karena kita gampang banget ke distract dan lain.
Jadi seperti terasa begitu banyak pencapaian, begitu banyak kesuksesan, begitu banyak uang, of course, begitu tingginya popularitas, stagesnya dalam karir tuh terasa sekali terus peningkatannya. Tapi kedamaian, ketenangan itu justru turun jauh gitu. And maybe kalau mau jujur, maybe all of us that work in this industry, kalau mau jujur ya, mungkin merasakan hal yang sama. Karena kan pace kerjanya sangat sibuk dan kita terus dituntut. We have to perform.
Betul.
And then sorry to say, sometimes kalau kayak Teteh karena bekerjanya sebagai actors ya, maksudnya I do acting, right?
Betul.
So from one character to another character, we have to keep on changing. Jadi betul-betul pace-nya yang luar biasa dan hasilnya, in my word now after I get back to Islam, hasilnya kan materialis sekali ya. Popularity, money, wealthiness.
Duniawi
gitu ya.
lah.
Duniawi kan, duniawi sekali. Dan dengan pace yang begitu tingginya, pace yang begitu cepatnya, hasil-hasil yang kita dapatkan justru mereduce kedekatan kita with our creator. Dan kesuksesan itu membawa kelalaian. We felt that we already reached something kan, kayak udah mencapai gitu sesuatu. Padahal if we go back into ourselves, we gonna realize that life gonna end it soon. Who in this world that not gonna die? Who? Nah itu kan terlupa kalau kita hidup dalam pace yang seperti itu gitu ya. Bukan berarti kita tidak boleh sibuk, karena dunia ini tempat kita berjuang kan, untuk berbuat yang baik, makin baik, lebih baik gitu. Tapi it's not our destination, right? This is just a journey. Nah, dalam kesibukan yang sebegitu luar biasanya, kesuksesan, pencapaian, jadi lupa, this is not destination, this is just a journey. Singkat kata, I reached that point, and alhamdulillahnya, I don't want to ignore it. Maybe because of my career was a very long journey.
Karirnya 22 tahun itu nggak waktu yang cepat gitu.
Iya, jadi mungkin sebetulnya ada fase-fase seperti itu juga dalam setiap stagesnya, tapi I ignore it. But I reach a point where I felt that I have everything. Ya tentu kategori meraih segalanya bagi masing-masing kita mungkin beda-beda ya. Tapi that time I felt like dalam pendidikan selesai dengan baik, I can reach like cum laude in all my education, and then dari sisi popularitas, karir, kategori pekerjaan, di belakang layar, di depan layar, semuanya gitu. So I'm questioning myself, apa sih gitu yang hilang? Kok kenapa ketenangan itu, kedamaian itu, that peacefulness no longer there? Nah, singkat kata, I know what is the answer finally, because I'm really far from what I have to do as hambanya Allah.
Wow.
Karena ternyata setelah mencapai titik tersebut, the point that I questioned myself, what was really happened with me, why I'm like this ya. Ketika reaching that point, sebetulnya jawabannya juga mudah. Maksudnya bagi kita semuanya ya, para tetangga-tetangga ini, kalau kita mau jujur, sebagai hambanya Allah, sebagai umat yang kalau saya Muslim ya, sebagai seorang Muslim, sebagai umat yang mempercayai ya bahwa kita diciptakan oleh Sang Maha Pencipta, of course nggak mungkin bisa terpisahkan kan, ciptaan dengan Sang Maha Pencipta. Jadi kalau ritme hidup kita di dunia, if the rhythm of our life membuat jarak atau terpisah dari Sang Maha Pencipta, pasti screw up. Screw up itu tidak selalu ditunjukkan dengan kegagalan, kejatuhan. Enggak, we can be like a successful person, tapi because we don't have relationship again with our creator, so at that point kita akan ngerasa screw up gitu. Kenapa? Karena memang basically memang kita diciptakan oleh Sang Maha Pencipta kan gitu. So that time introspeksi, which is we call it muhasabah, and then I found it. I mean, sebagai Muslim, kami harus menghadap, bertemu, berbicara, berkomunikasi, which is really really good, like 5 times a day, subuh, zuhur, asar, maghrib, isya, and then in between that time kita punya sholat-sholat yang kita sebut sunnah. It's not compulsory, but Allah provided for us, so we can do like duha, we can do like voluntary salat. I mean, I know that time I understand that I miss it. I mean, waktu itu semua itu kayak tergerus oleh pencapaian duniawi. So finally, long story short, dengan muhasabah itulah, so I went through a process to get back again to learn about Islam, with one question: who am I actually? Why I'm in this world?
What's the purpose of life?
What the purpose of my life in this world? With that question I started it again, my journey. Dan akhirnya alhamdulillah pertanyaan itu membuat Teteh kemudian mencari jawabannya. Dan kembali lagi dalam Islam, kami hanya harus mencari jawabannya dari Quran. Dan untuk mencari jawabannya dari Quran, tidak mungkin mencari-cari sendiri. We have to be harus berada dalam satu keadaan yang belajar kan, belajar. So I tried to bring myself kepada majelis-majelis, datang lagi kepada ulama, kepada guru-guru untuk memulai lagi. Dan ternyata proses belajar itulah yang mengikat my journey to switch my life. It's not that, sekali lagi bukan berarti kita tidak boleh sukses. Ya, Islam tidak mengajarkan seperti itu. We can be success. We have to do many things in this world. Bahkan dalam Islam kami diajarkan ya kan untuk selalu berjuang. Hidup ini adalah cobaan, hidup ini ujian. We have to keep on learning because we will always having soal-soal ujian itu gitu kan. Kayak di sekolah kan? Kayak di sekolah kan kita setiap hari datang, setiap hari belajar, setiap hari guru tes kita, abis itu dikasih PR, and then next week ada ulangan, and then after that ada tugas, and then after that ada ujian. That's life. Ya itu kan hidup ya. Jadi akhirnya proses belajar itulah yang kemudian menjadi booster untuk go along the journey in this world, in this dunya, but with the goal that I want to be success to meet Allah.
Wow.
Beautiful. Yeah. It speaks to me a lot. I it didn't take me a long career to get to that point as well, like where I reached a point when I was 27 and I didn't have maybe that many goals in life, except I wanted to be married, have children, be married to a wonderful husband, house, car, little business, and I had achieved that all at 27, and I felt nothing. Like for me, it was just not even pleasure or enjoyment. It was just nothing. So for me, I came to that point when I was 27. I'm like, yeah, what am I doing here? Who am I? Yeah, what is my purpose in life, right? And for me, because I'm Christian, I found that in Jesus, right? So for me, it was and I was trying to look everywhere back then. I was like yoga and all this new age stuff, and I was just trying, what is that? What will give me that peace? What will give me that fullness, the warmth inside? That complete peace and wholeness, contentment. Yeah, and for me, it was also that point. I have achieved everything in life that I ever wanted, and I cannot feel anything about it. And I didn't feel happy even. I didn't feel joy. I didn't feel full, and I didn't know where to look for it. And that was the moment when we started going to church again, right? And I think God misses us. I didn't know He was looking for me. Like God was looking for me as much as I needed something to fill me. And then turns out God was looking for me all this time and also missing me, not just me missing God, And it's beautiful to see that you came to that point, and and you still have so much life in front of you.
Yeah.
And I wish that for everyone who's watching as well, like that we get to this point of looking for God before we have only a little bit of life left, but we still have a full life to live, journeying with God and actually experiencing that fullness here on earth already before we reach heaven. Like, yes, my goal is to reach heaven and be with God, but I can already feel that fullness right now in life. Yeah.
Like where you live, heaven on earth. Kayak di New Zealand itu, dengan padang gurun dan habis itu keheningan, dan
all the animals.
Exactly.
Not for you, right?
Gue kayak kalau ngelihat binatang itu, Tapi apa yang mungkin Teh Hadijah, Peggy bilang dan juga Viola bilang, gue sendiri juga percaya ya bahwa kita setiap manusia ciptaannya Tuhan itu mempunyai sebuah kayak ada apa ya, a God-shaped heart gitu, yang kosong ini hanya bisa diisi oleh hadirnya Tuhan di dalam hidup kita.
And you know
gitu.
that Quran exactly mention about that.
Really?
Yeah.
I love
there
that.
There are several ayah, but there is like one ayah that said, Kalallah, this is like what Allah said, that Allah bizikrillahi tatmainul qulub. Allah said that banyak-banyaklah mengingat aku, maka hatimu akan tenang. So ketenangan hati, the contentment, peacefulness itu nggak akan pernah bisa didapatkan dengan cara apapun selain banyak mengingat Allah. Artinya terikat dengan Allah. It's a guidance, right? Quran is a guidance. For us, it's a guidance. It means that we already have it in this world. Yeah, we already have it. So we just have to learn about it and implement it and follow it. So you are already being guided. And of course, kalau kita berada dalam suatu petunjuk, sama seperti we use Waze, mau datang ke kantornya Daniel kan pakai Waze gitu kan dituntun kan sampai gitu ya. Betul. We just have to follow it. Kalau Waze bilang di depan belok kanan and then we take left, kan yang salah kita kan.
Rerouting jadi lebih lama.
Bahkan mungkin gak sampai-sampai jadinya kan gitu ya. That's the principle.
Gue termasuk orang yang dari kecil udah tahu mau ngapain.
Wow.
Memang pengen jadi petani gitu. Serius man. Yang penting anaknya senang. Ya benar. Anak senang, tapi kalau nggak bisa menghasilkan kehidupan juga bukan sesuatu yang masih kita lakuin ya. Gitu ya. Jadi banyak di Indonesia ini orang yang mengaku menyembah Tuhan yang satu, ya, but they believe in magics. Oh, look at you wear this necklace because it saves you. No way, that's something that you built. That's paganism.
That's it.
That never happened in our place. None of it. Zero.